Okay, Coach, we are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. On first down, it's Rosen. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there at 22.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Rosen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. At their own 20-yard line. Ready, go. 56. Check back. Mike 56, Mike 56, let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He completes this one to Mack. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And now the rookie's free. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense. Like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Rosen looking to throw. Now the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the draw, it's Pollard. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
56, check 56. Rip, look up. Look at me, zipper.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Dallas. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Check. 52's the mark. I don't even know why this team showed.
Rosen will throw. And his throw is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Throwing on second and long. Rosen. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Third and long here for Rosen. And the catch good. It's Eifert.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
On play action, Rosen. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle.
Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
17 yards, but it's third down.
The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Switch it. Go.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On second down, this is Harris. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh. You think you're going to get this? You think you're going to get this? Kill. X3. 218, chop. Speed trip.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
90 Wolf.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Five.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out time, guys. Out time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Got his man. It's Eifert. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. Caught Eifert over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Pollard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That is caught at the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Chopper! Check three. On the ball. You got time right there. Snap.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Set. 18 Gator.
56. Watch the run.
They'll drop the throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Rosen to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and
it's a foot race. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 81 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Ready, ready. 10 Lobo.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Let's go. Back.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6 man. Check curls, check.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing left side, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
56. Mike's 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the catch made by Hopkins. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Harris. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 2. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Watch the screen. Kill.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to go down again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Cheetah. Ready?
Back to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these. And now here is another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch the run.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those two hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Rosen. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Let's go.
Got it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think
Accelerating, and off he goes. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
This is taken at the 18. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Let's go. 50, plant. Greystone, travel.
Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Check 52. Check 43.
Here's Pollard again. get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Switch.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.